Hi guys, if you're watching this video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, leave your name in the comment box. That way you will be a part of my bi-weekly giveaway. I will provide my Facebook link for that, so you will be able to tune in live in order to see if you are the lucky winner. Hi guys, this is just a short video, maybe not too short, of me putting a sublimation image on a canvas. I got this canvas from my local Dollar Tree. It is a size 8x10, and my sublimation printer, I printed that image, just a family photo. So you will need your canvas. This is an 8x10. You can use any size. You will need a sublimation image. Any photo will work, or anything you want to put on a canvas. You will need your laminating paper. And it usually comes like in two parts, as you can see. So you can just cut enough off to cover your canvas after you remove it. I also have the staple gun, and I have the scissors, and I have my heat press. It's already set to 385 at 50 seconds. I will remove the staples from this canvas before I get started. I find it much easier to do it that way. It might be more work. When you remove the staples, be sure to use a tool, something with a flathead, maybe a flathead screwdriver. This is called a Gerber, so I am using this to get the staples out. A staple remover did not do the job for me, did not work for me, did not work for me. So it was a challenge removing the staples from this canvas, but I'll just run through it quickly. Probably won't talk the entire time. But yeah, just take your time and make sure you get that, whatever you're using, under that staple, and lift it up as careful as possible so you don't rip your canvas. And just take your time with that. Okay, so I'm finally done removing my staples. Yeah, so now I will just go ahead and take the canvas off the frame as careful as possible. Don't want to rip anything with my hands, or just take your time while you're taking it off. And we will straighten this canvas out. That way we can press that laminating paper on it. I am just using some wax paper from my local Dollar Tree. And this wax paper, it will go on top of the canvas, the laminating paper. So we will lay the canvas down. Then I will lay the laminating paper. Well, actually first I'm just going to straighten it out. So I'll just lay this canvas down, and then I will lay the piece of wax paper over it. And I will let that press on my heat press at 385 for 10 seconds. Maybe 15 is okay too, but it doesn't have to be too long. Okay, so we'll just let that press for 10 seconds. I think mine's probably ran to 13 seconds because I have my heat press set at 385 for 50 seconds for the image. So I was like, I'll just catch it at 10 seconds, but I probably caught it at 13 seconds, which is okay. So the canvas paper should be straight now. Just remove that wax paper and you will see it is straight. Now what I'm gonna do is take my laminating paper and I'll just cut it in half. You can cut more than half, whatever you need to cover your canvas or how much area you need to cover. I'm thinking I should have cut it more than halfway when I was done, but I'm satisfied. It covered the area where I believe the picture is gonna be, but you never know. You can always cover the entire canvas and just make sure it's fully covered with the laminating paper. With this, you want to have the shiny side up on your canvas. Shiny side up. And that matte side onto the canvas. I am just trying to get this in place, like in the center, and try to follow the lines I was on the canvas. The lines where it bent over the frame. I'm trying to get it within that region, within that area. And after I get that straightened out, I will take it over to my heat press. So we will place this on the heat press and we will take the wax paper and we will place the wax paper on there in order to prevent the laminating paper to stick on top of the heat press. So just place that wax paper on there and press at 385 for 50 seconds. That should get it on there pretty good for you. So that's 385, 50 seconds. I will just go ahead and remove this. It's pretty hot, so be careful. And there we go. We got the laminating paper on the canvas. If you see, I did got a little hair between my laminating paper and the canvas. That's because I was doing my baby's hair before I got started. So just make sure your area is clean and your canvas is clean. Just look at it carefully before you press the laminating paper on there. Not a big deal for me because I believe the dark part of my image will definitely cover that up. So now I am just placing my image, my sublimation image, on top of the canvas. And we will go ahead and press that at 385 for 50 seconds. But what I like doing is take printer paper and I will place 2 printer paper to cover my image. That way, whatever ink residue does not adhere to the top of my heat press. And then I still place the wax paper on top of it. I've been doing that with all my sublimation image. It's very helpful. For me, it is. You can try it. No big deal. Just want to keep my heat press clean. And we will press this down at 385 for 50 seconds. And the image should be on there pretty good with that time frame. So let's just wait this out. And we're good to go. Okay, I'm excited to see what it looks like. Let's just remove that wax paper. I'll remove my 2 printer paper. And I don't know if you can see the dark spot on there, but that is ink residue from the image. Also, there is ink residue on my wax paper, so I will not be reusing that wax paper. The wax paper you can reuse as long as there is no ink on it. And be careful, it is also hot when you're taking this off. And let's see what happens. There we go. The image is bright. It's glossy. And our next step will be to put our canvas back on top of the frame. During this step, you want to make sure that your canvas is centered, your image is centered, and your frame is at least by the line where it was before you remove it, before you start folding it over. You want to fold over and staple on one side, and then you can stretch on the other side and staple it on there. The edges are a little tricky, so just take your time with that. It was a process getting the canvas back onto the frame. When it comes to your edges, just think of gift wrapping. You know, when you fold the edges in and then over. So I will just speed through this, but it did take me a few minutes to get the canvas back onto the frame. It does take a while to fold it over and staple because you want to make sure you are stapling in the right place and you're pulling your frame, your canvas on your frame as tight as possible so it can look professional. And you also want to take your time with the edges to make sure you don't have no bulky edges on your canvas. Basically, the goal is to make it look the way it was before you took it off. And finally, I'm done. I got the canvas back on the frame, and this is the final results. This is an image of my family. We took this picture a couple days ago for a pumpkin patch event that we attended. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe in order to be in my giveaway. Thank you.